Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to a live stream. I have an exciting announcement to make. I now have channel membership. YouTube just gave it to me, so yay for me! And we have our first member, or I have my first member, rather. And if you become a member, you not only get this really neat banner going across, you also get a badge right next to your name. You also get some really cool custom emojis. So if that is something, as well as members only content, I'm going to be running my members only content differently than my Patreon content and my regular channel content. My regular channel content is, I try to keep it clean because I want Christians to come here and, other religious people too. But I grew up in Christianity, and I think it's important for me to reach out and, tell these people the truth, that they've been, lied to. Some of them their entire lives. And I know how that feels. And I don't want people being lied to. So, anyway, but my Patreon, it will be a little more like how I am on Knox's channel. A little bit more on the intellectual side. So I guess my Patreon would be my channel, then my Patreon, then my members only. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. And, we're just going to see how that goes. And I only have one level. It's $2.99 per month. So yeah, that is my channel announcement. And since this is really cool, I'll go ahead and do it again. And she is my first member. Thank you so much, Lisa. It is an honor to have you as my first member. So let's get down to more bad advice in the Bible. How much bad advice can we have? I don't know. So we're in Proverbs 4. And by the way, this is supposed to be like the wisest man in the world. Just keep that in mind. Not all the Proverbs were written by Solomon, but most of them were. And this one was. So, Proverbs chapter 4. Listen, my sons, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. You're going to have to give us a little more than your word. Sorry. That you give sound teaching, okay? Your word's not going to cut it. For I too was a son to my father. Well, you don't say. It's kind of how it works, Solomon. Still tender and cherished by my mother. Verse 4. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. You're going to live for as long as you're going to live, and, barring you getting hit by a car or, something like that, you're just going to live how long you're going to live, and don't worry about it. You can't change it, and I'm not saying there's a God that says you're going to live this long. I'm just saying, don't worry about it, because if you get hit by a car, you get hit by a car. If you live to the age of 100, you live to the age of 100. I mean, does it really matter? No, not really. Verse 5, get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. Okay, so I want to explain something. The Gnostics have, I think she's a goddess to the Gnostics. Not quite sure about that. But they do have a female figure in Gnosticism, and her name is Sophia. And Sophia translates to wisdom. So now I know Gnosticism came a long time after Solomon, but this is probably where they get the Sophia figure from. Verse 7. Oh, this is deep, people. This is deep. The beginning of wisdom is this. Get wisdom. Ain't that deep? Gee. You know what? If it's the if getting wisdom is the beginning of wisdom, how do you get wisdom to begin with? I'm telling you what, this book is driving me nuts. It used not to. I used to eat this stuff up when I was drinking the Kool-Aid. But, what can you say? So, verse 7b, though it cost all you have, get understanding. I think I'll pass on your version of understanding, because your version of understanding is just stupidity. Verse 8, cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. Nothing like anthropomorphizing the concept, huh? She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown. How is wisdom supposed to do that if it's just a concept? It's not like it has a body. Verse 10, Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Why are you promising something that you can't deliver on? This is Solomon talking. This is not God talking. Not that there's a God anyway. Not this God, not the God of the Bible. But this is Solomon talking. Solomon cannot deliver a long life. And this is supposed to be the wisest man in the world. Verse 11, I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. Sounds like you're talking a bunch of stupidity to me. Verse 12, when you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Again, you're promising something you can't deliver on. And I'm talking about figuratively and literally. It's just something you can't deliver. So don't promise it because you can't deliver it. Verse 13. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. No. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for becoming my first member. Gotta do the banner thing. So anyway, thank you for being my first member. Verse 14. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked, or walk in the way of evildoers. Lisa, can you see your badge and your emojis? I'm going to read 14 again because that just sounds redundant. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked, or walk in the way of evildoers. You know, Solomon, you could just say, do not set foot on the path of the wicked. Verse 15. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way. For they cannot rest until they are robbed of sleep till they make someone stumble. I have no idea what he's talking about. Thank you, Lisa. It shows up very differently on my screen than your screen. Verse 17. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Wickedness isn't bread. Violence isn't wine. Hello. Like I said, this is supposed to be the wisest man in the world. According to the Bible, he was the wisest man that ever lived. Does this sound like the wisest man to you? Verse 18, the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. Okay, so I just want to stop right there. This verse is used by the Jehovah's Witnesses to justify their new light teaching. Yes, exactly, Lisa. That's what I say. But that's what most of the Bible is, so, you know. But verse 18 of Proverbs 4 is what the Jehovah's Witnesses use to claim new light. And, but if they read it wrong, and I think some of them read it wrong on purpose. I definitely think the governing body read it wrong on purpose. And then the sheeple just, you know, they don't think because they're in a cult. You know, their thoughts are not their own. They're totally controlled by the governing body. And but if this verse actually said what they purport it to say, it would actually say instruction, or God's instruction, rather. Because let's be clear, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about God's instruction when they're talking about new light. God's instruction is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. But that's not what it says. No, Lisa, they don't. They don't accept that the prophets ended with Jesus. I'll do a video on it, or maybe even a live stream on it. It's a little more in depth than that, but no, they don't use this verse. But they do believe in modern day prophets, and that goes back to Joseph Smith, and they believe that Peter, James, and John, the foremost apostles of Jesus Christ, came and restored the priesthood on earth and gave Joseph Smith the priesthood. And from that time on, there's always been priests and prophets on earth. So I'll get there. It's just too much to do in this video. Verse 19. But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. That sounds like a lot of gobbledygook to me. Verse 20, my son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to one's whole body. Is this guy supposed to be hallucinating or something? Or maybe better yet, this guy suffers from synesthesia, which, in case you don't know, synesthesia is when two senses in the body get crossed. So, like, if you've ever heard somebody say something weird, like, well, that smells like purple. We all have synesthesia to a certain level. Take music, for instance. Music will play on our emotions. So that's a low level of synesthesia, but you can have all types of synesthetes. But yeah, that's just way weird. Verse 22. For they are life to those who find them, and health to one's whole body. You haven't proven that. You have to give us proof. We're not going to take your word for it. Sorry. Verse 22. For they are life to those who find them, and health to one's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Kind of hate to tell you this, but the heart's a muscle. I mean, I know what he's getting at. It's the seat of the emotions. But the heart isn't the seat of the emotions either. The brain is the seat of the emotions. For everything you do flows from it. Verse 24. Keep your mouth free of perversity. I guess I broke that one a long time ago, huh? Yes, Lisa, like that. That is slight synesthesia. We all have that to a certain degree. But some people will, like, if they hear words, they will see the words, like, right in front of them. And some of them will even see the words in color. And, you know, like I said, some of them will smell colors. So there's different kinds of, you know, synesthetes. Verse 25. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Of all the bad advice in this chapter, just this chapter, that is the worst advice ever. Because that's talking about, hey, you know, don't go looking for knowledge, real knowledge, not this gobbledygook he has down here. Okay? Don't go looking for real knowledge outside of whatever, the religion or whatever, you know. Don't go doing that. That's going to distract you. Keep your eye in the pathway. Put your blinders on, because that's the only way we're ever going to keep people in this dumb religion. Verse 26. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Yeah, Lisa, yeah. some people do that too. Verse 27. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. Well, you know what, old Solly? If knowledge is evil, sign me up. I don't want your dumb religion. Hey, old Scratch. Yeah, we were talking about that in James Downard. You know, when I was growing up, I was taught that the fossils were put on Earth by Satan to test the Christians. Seriously, Lisa. Seriously. So anyway, so yeah. Basically, put your blinders on. Don't look at anything, outside the Bible or, anything like that. Don't go reading up on evolution. For Pete's sake, don't go reading up on evolution, because you might become an evolutionist if you really know what the theory says and not that straw man that AIG and Kent Hovind and Ray Comfort and William Lane Craig and all of those idiots want you to believe. Yeah, don't go looking up the real evolution, because you'll find out, hey, this happens. I see it all the time. So yeah, don't go doing that. Don't go doing that. Don't you dare go take some archaeology courses and find out that carbon dating gets up to 50,000 years. And, that's like 10 times what the Earth is supposed to be, or the universe. Don't go doing that. Don't go looking up light years. Don't do that. I mean, they want you, most of Christianity, I believe, and this is just what I think, but most of Christianity wants you to stay stupid, because the only way that these preachers are going to survive is if they keep making money from their sheeple. That's the only way they're going to live, because they can't live in an honest fashion. They can't get a job. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Put on your resume, 26 years of pastoring? Okay, why did you leave pastoring? Oh, well, my church dwindled, and, anyway, yeah. I'm face palming right now. I know you can't see me, but I'm face palming. Yeah. What can you say? The Bible's got a lot of... Well, this is true, Lisa. And Eric's just... Eric doesn't have anything new to add to his dad's crap. He just recycles it. That's all he does. If you look at Hogan's crap and you look at Eric's crap, it's the same crap. I know, isn't it, Old Scratch? That's why there are a lot of atheist pastors. Well, I can't say a lot. I can say a few. I do know that there are a few atheist pastors out there, but of course they're never going to say they're atheists, you know. But got to keep fleecing that flock, you know. But I mean, really, I feel sorry for the atheist pastors in the sense that, you know, they spend all this time in school for nothing, really nothing. And then they go into the ministry and, you know, they preach and preach and preach, and they may think they're doing the right thing, you know, at some point. And then at some point they're like, wait a minute, this ain't right. This ain't right. And they done spent 26 years of their life, and they don't have any skills. So what are they going to do? Now, I'm not saying it's right for them to keep on fleecing the flock when they're atheists. I'm not saying that, but I can understand a little of where they're coming from. So, yeah. Yeah, the Hogans used arguments that AIG doesn't touch with a 10-foot pole. That's how dumb they are. I was in James Downard's live stream earlier. And someone was talking about the Dinkle. I can't. Oh, Scratch, you were in there. Help me out here. Was it the Dinkle, quote unquote, fossil or something like that? Where they were saying that the man's footprint was in the dinosaur footprint. Sounded more, it looked more like Flintstones to me. Hey, Busy Mountain, we're done with the bad advice. You'll have to watch it again. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was creepy, wasn't it? Yeah, Old Scratch. What's it called? Do you remember what it's called? That, by the way, is fake. You can tell it's fake. I mean, you don't even need to be an expert to tell it's fake. Looks like a Flintstone print. I mean, honestly. I mean, just look at the quote-unquote big toe print, and you'll see what I mean. Ain't no way that came from a man. And, you know, they want to keep, you know, I don't know whether AIG accepts the Carball crap about this one. I know they reject the Ica stones. That's another one of the Hoven things that they reject because they know it's been forged. So, I mean, I don't have any respect for any of these companies, but at least AIG has a little bit more credibility, which is not saying a whole lot, to tell you the truth. But anyway, just wanted to remind you guys, I now have memberships. So, only if you can afford to join. If you need your money, keep it by all means. But if you can't afford to join, we're going to have some great, I'm going to have some great stuff out. We're going to have some fun times. And yeah, so, please like this video or dislike. It doesn't matter. The YouTube algorithm counts them the same. Leave a comment in the comment section if you would, because it triggers the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you guys later. Have a great night. Bye.